restaurants. So if you are looking to grab a bite to eat, you want to get some souvenirs to take back home, or just look at some beautiful artwork here at La Villita. As we come around the curve right here, ladies and gentlemen, take a look in front of us here on the right-hand side. We got a stage in front of us on the right known as the Artisan River Theater. Now this here is an open-air venue for concerts, folklore troops, and the river parades that we have here in San Antonio. Now on the left-hand side, ladies and gentlemen, this is the seating area for the stage. You can sit up to quite a bit of people here. The seating area, that's where you'll find the entrance to La Villita. Now, before we pass up the stage, ladies and gentlemen, take a second to look back at the stage. If you look above the stage, you're going to see 5 bells up there. Now, those 5 bells right there are dedicated to the 5 missions here in the city of San Antonio. Now, I will say though, this stage happens to look familiar to you. Have you actually ever seen the movie Miss Congeniality starring Sandra Bullock? It's actually where they filmed the swimsuit scene for that movie. And they actually filmed a lot of pretty good movies here on Riverwalk, such as that movie Miss Congeniality, Knight Rider, Cloak and Dagger, and even the movie Selena. How can you forget about Selena? Can't do that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we pass through here, if you take a look in front of us here on the right-hand side, you can be seeing a statue right there of a cowboy wrangling up some steers. Now that there vaquero is part of the Bristol Western Art Museum. Now that building behind the statue right there is that art museum. Now that building right there actually opened up in 1930. At that time, it was a public library. It lasted all the way up until the year 1968. Now sadly though, in 1968, they did close down the library for a long time. But it's all good though, because in 1968, they opened it up to be a circus museum. Yeah, it remained a circus museum from 1968 up until the year 2001. Now sadly though, in 2001, they did close down the circus museum, but it's all good though, because in 2013, the Bristol Western Art Museum finally opened up. Yeah, and there at the Bristol, it is a way to interpret the art, history, and culture of the American West. It is actually said that Pancho Villa's last saddle resides there at the Bristol, along with General Santa Anna's ceremonial sword. Now right here in front of us, ladies and gentlemen, we got the Paseo Street Bridge. Now this is one of those low bridges I was telling you about. Whatever you do, ladies and gentlemen, please do not stand up here. It is a low bridge. It is made of iron. I don't want to give anybody free haircuts today, so please remain seated. Now I will say, though, ladies and gentlemen, as we pass through here, there were actually 4 of these bridges that were made to reside here in San Antonio. And these bridges right here were made by the Berlin Bridge Company over in East Berlin. Now here's the thing though, ladies and gentlemen, it actually wasn't East Berlin, Germany. It was actually East Berlin, Connecticut. Yeah, that's where they made these bridges at, over in Connecticut. Now we travel through, ladies and gentlemen, take a look over on the right-hand side. You're going to see the sculpture of a table right there known as Father Massenet's table. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it sits on top of an island known as Marriage Island. Ladies and gentlemen, this table right here was placed back in 1991. It was to commemorate the first Catholic Mass that was held by Father Massenet. Now the reason they call the island here Marriage Island, if you look at this island from an aerial view, the island itself is actually in the shape of a heart. So yeah, throughout the year you're going to see a lot of weddings and marriage proposals take place right there on that island. A very beautiful thing to see. Now right here, ladies and gentlemen, this is actually the shallowest part of the river. Right here, the water's only about 2 feet deep right here. Back in the 1800s, this was known as the Old Mill Crossing. Now right here is where the settlers would stop to cross the river. They would stop to water their horses, wash their buggies. It's actually a very frequent and popular spot that was used by Teddy Roosevelt and his Rough Riders. Now, ladies and gentlemen, once we pass up this tree right here on the left, if you take a look on the left-hand side, you're going to see this tall building here on the left. It is known as the Tower Life Building. It actually opened up back in 1929 by these 2 brothers, the Smith brothers. Yeah, back then this building here was known as the Smith-Young Building. Now those 2 brothers, they paid millions of dollars to open up this here building. It was about $3 million to be exact. Yeah, at the top they got the large gargoyles up there. Those gargoyles are actually over 7 feet tall. Yeah, at the top the gargoyles, and if you look down here, once you pass up the tree, look at the bottom where the first floor meets the second floor. There's actually a row of some scary looking faces on the building there. Yeah, those scary faces there, they are known as grotesque. Now the reason the gargoyles and those grotesque are there is because the Smith brothers were actually very superstitious. Yeah, they needed a way to warn off evil spirits and keep away bad business. Unfortunately, those gargoyles and grotesque, they didn't do a job too well. Because a few months after the brothers paid $3 million to open up this here building, the stock market crashed, the Great Depression began. And forced them to sell this $3 million building here for only $300,000. Only making about 10 cents on the dollar. I don't know about y'all, but that there is a pretty bad business. But I will say though, a pretty cool thing about the building, once we exit out underneath the bridge right here, if you take a second to look back at the building, They say the building itself, it kind of looks like a large boat. Some say that it even looks like the Titanic. I want to see if you ever see it in about 3, 2, 1. Take a look back. What do y'all think? I kind of like the Titanic a little bit. They actually say that to this day you could still hear the horn, so that's their boat. Let's take a second, see if we can hear it.
Looks a little bit like the Titanic.
Horn messed up. Right here in front of us, ladies and gentlemen, we got a red building right here. This is known as the Bexar County Courthouse. It is actually the largest and oldest courthouse that is still operational to this day. Yeah, it opened up in 1897. Now, I'm going to be stopping right here real quick and honking the horn just to make sure it's safe to pass through here. Be honking the horn twice. Oh, now the horn works. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as we take the right turn here, the river goes from 5 feet deep to about 15 to 20 feet deep right here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the reason the river's so deep right here, this here is a flood channel. Back in 1921, San Antonio actually suffered a large flood. It ended up killing over 50 people and causing millions of dollars worth of damages. Now, with that being said, though, a few years later, in 1924, there was 2 ladies known as Emily Edwards and Rena Maverick Green. They actually teamed up together to create the San Antonio Conservation Society to preserve all these historical buildings around the river. Then in 1929, Robert A. Trump and the father of the Riverwalk came up with a proposal for this here flood channel. It was known as the Shops of Aragon and Romula. Sadly, at that time, though, the Great Depression did cause this proposal to be put on hold about a decade. But it's all good, though, because in 1941, this Riverwalk here was finally built around the river. Now, ladies and gentlemen, take a second to look behind us. You see that bridge right there behind us? That's known as Love Lock Bridge. If you ever love with somebody, go down to the bridge right there, write your initials on the lock it to that bridge, take the key and throw it into the river, signifying our love forever. It's a pretty cool tradition to do right there.
Oh, nice.
Now, a few seconds later, take a look at the right. This hotel here opened up in 2007, but in 1929, this actually used to be a bank. It was known as the Alamo National Bank. It was one of the largest banks here in the city of San Antonio. It sadly closed down, though, due to the Great Depression. Now, ladies and gentlemen, in a few seconds right here, we're going to be taking a right turn. Before we take the right turn, once we exit out from underneath the bridge right here, if you look in front of us, you're going to be seeing a tree in a few seconds with some lights on it. Now, the tree you're about to see, it is a cypress tree. It is a bald cypress. It is a twin cypress. It is actually the largest and oldest tree on this river. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that tree right there is over 90 feet tall and it's over 350 years old. It's actually older than the city of San Antonio. Yes, San Antonio had its 300th anniversary back in 2018. Now, legend has it, back in 1835, there was a soldier who was a sniper. He climbed to the top of this tree right here, and he actually shot a colonel by the name of Ben Milo. So they ended up naming this tree here in honor of that Colonel Ben Milo. Now here we are, ladies and gentlemen, passing through this floodgate right here. This is floodgate number 3. Now these floodgates right here actually help regulate the water level whenever we need to drain the river. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, last time we had the river drained was back in January. The city of San Antonio, they told us when they drained the river, they found over thousands of wallets and cell phones in the river here. Yeah, thousands of them. Pretty crazy. Now, in a few seconds, ladies and gentlemen, take a look right here on the left. You're going to see this hotel here. This is known as Drury Inn and Suites. Now, this hotel here opened up in 1998. But in 1921, ladies and gentlemen, this used to be a CPS building. And right here is where you used to pay your gas and electrical services. Now, pretty crazy fact, look at the windows. You see those chandeliers hanging from the ceiling? Well, back when we had that flood in 1921, the water actually rose above the chandeliers there. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this entire area here was completely underwater. Yeah, pretty scary times. Yeah, the water was 10 feet above street level, which is 10 feet above this bridge right here in front of us. All completely underwater. Now, a few seconds, ladies and gentlemen, once we exit from the bridge, I want you to take a look on the right-hand side. I want you to take a look up top on the right. You're going to be seeing the Aztec Theater. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Aztec Theater opened up in 1926. It is a notable example of the motion picture palaces that had opened up during the 20s. Remained very popular into the 70s. Right up top on the right here, up there on street level. Yeah, it remained very popular into the 70s. They used to show films there such as Charlie Chaplin's silent movies and other movies like Jurassic Park and Star Wars as well. But in today's time, ladies and gentlemen, it is now a venue for concerts and comedy shows that take place throughout the entire year.
Aquí es un traje de papá.
Now right here in front of us, ladies and gentlemen, we got Husband's Bridge. Anybody recognize that bridge right there in front of us? It's also known as Cesar's Bridge.
Ahí te decía, papá, traje a nuestro papá cuando fue a su cumpleaños una vez.
A ver.
¿Para qué?
Take a look on the right hand side of the top of street level, that khaki colored hotel building there. It is known as the Macara Hotel and Spa. Now, why would a hotel and spa be so historical? Ladies and gentlemen, back in 1901, that there was a saddle company known as the L. Frank Saddlery. It's actually one of the largest saddle companies in the world. Yeah, making saddles for Teddy Roosevelt, the Rough Riders, Pancho Villa, and even other presidents and notable people. Now, across the river on the left here, we got the Omni La Mansión. Now, La Mansión here on the left opened up in 1968. But in 1853, ladies and gentlemen, this building here on the left was a school. It was known as St. Mary's School for Boys, later becoming St. Mary's Law School, which is now St. Mary's College. And that college, it actually sits west of this location here in the city of San Antonio. Right here in front of us, ladies and gentlemen, we got Navarro Street Bridge. If you're a fan of optical illusions or you're a big fan of photography, like taking pictures, recording, I suggest you get those cameras ready. Because ladies and gentlemen, once we exit out from underneath the bridge right here, I want y'all to take a look at the first building in front of us on the left-hand side. And when we exit out from the bridge, take a look to the top of the building here on the left. It's going to be pretty cool. Coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 2.5. Whoa. All right, ladies and gentlemen, take a look to the top of the building here on the left-hand side. Take a look at that right about.
Ah, look crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this beautiful building there on the left, it's actually a hospital. Yeah, it is known as the Nick's Hospital. It is the first modern and fully air-conditioned hospital in the United States. And it opened up back in 1930. Now, they had some very notable people born in this hospital, such as the comedian Carol Burnett, Oliver North, Henry Cisneros, and even Michelle Rodriguez from the Fast and Furious movies, born in that there hospital, believe it or not.
Fast and Furious movie.
Now, as we travel for a long, ladies and gentlemen, in front of us here, we have a hotel known as the Hyatt Regency Hotel. Ladies and gentlemen, this hotel right here in front of us opened up in 1981. Now, not only is it just a hotel, but it actually serves to be a connection between the Alamo and Alamo Plaza, linking it to the Riverwalk. Which means if you're ever looking for the Alamo, you're right here at the river, all you gotta do is walk into the hotel in front of us, walk out from the front lobby, and you'd be across the street from the Alamo. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this hotel was actually designed to be the tallest hotel in San Antonio. But since they from the Alamo, they actually had to make it a whole lot shorter because it is actually illegal to cast a shadow on the wall.
Si no pone el Porsche allá en la casa.
Take a look on the right hand side. See the red building there on the right? That is the casino. Sadly, it's not an actual casino. But in 1927, ladies and gentlemen, there was actually a merger between the San Antonio Club and the Casino Association. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, this red building here is where they used to hang out to do business. But in today's time, they actually ended up turning it into a restaurant on the first 2 floors. Now, ladies and gentlemen, take a look at the restaurant. The rest of the building here is actually an apartment complex as well. Yeah, you're actually able to move in here and live on the Riverwalk. But I'll let you know though, if you do want to move in here, it's actually over a 5-year wait list. You have to wait before you get to move in.
Uy.
You gotta wait 1 to 5 years just to move in here. That's pretty crazy.
Sí. Too busy, too busy.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, right here, this is the most popular part of the river. Right here is known as River Square, aka Restaurant Road. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking to grab a bite to eat after the tour, right here is where you're going to find the majority of the restaurants on the river. Now, in case you're wondering if you can have dinner on the boat, you actually can. All you got to do is just speak to the management of any of the restaurants here you're choosing, and they get you started on having dinner on these boats. It's actually a pretty cool experience, because you're looking like a celebrity while you enjoy your meal. You're definitely going to be getting a lot of head start, that's for sure. As you travel for a long way, Joe, we take a look in front of us on the right-hand side. On the corner here, we got a building known as the Clifford Building, aka Robert H. Husband's office. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Robert H. Husband, the founder of the Riverwalk. He placed his office right here in the corner back in 1941. Yeah, he wanted to ensure the people that their businesses and restaurants would be safe from flooding. And he was right, because the Riverwalk here, it hasn't suffered a major flood since the flood of 1921 due to the great engineering work of our flood channel. And now, speaking of businesses and restaurants, ladies and gentlemen, if you take a look in front of us there on the right-hand side, we got these restaurants right here that are very distinct to this restaurant here, known as Casa Rio. And ladies and gentlemen, Casa Rio is actually the oldest Mexican restaurant on the river. It is also the first restaurant to offer riverside and bar dining. Ladies and gentlemen, it is actually said that this restaurant here, it sits on top of land that was granted by the King of Spain himself. I mean, being open since 1946, they gotta be doing something right here. Yeah, they got some pretty good food going on. I suggest giving them a try.
Digan adiós, mira esa cosa colorada que es. Sí, ahí está el gordo. Ya que bájanos.
And everything behind this bridge is a natural flowing river. Now, as we enter through here, everything in front of us was man-made. Back in 1968, San Antonio needed a way to connect the World's Fairgrounds to the riverwalk behind us. So what did they do? They dug out this entire area right here and they replaced it with a concrete bottom. Right here, the river's only 5 feet deep. Now, with that being said, even though the river's only 5 feet deep, one question I get asked all the time working here, it is how many people fall into this river here every year. Ladies and gentlemen, we actually get about 300 to 400 people a year that fall into this river. With that being said, I'm pretty sure you can guess what they do. A little bit of drinking right there. But like I said, if you find yourself in the river, feel free to just stand up and walk out. It's only 5 feet deep.
65.
¿Y cómo salen?
They stand up and walk
Right here
out.
up here in front of us, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be entering a part of the river known as Peaks Park, aka the San Antonio Art Garden. Up ahead, you'll be seeing a lot of beautiful floral and wildlife in the area. Now, in the meantime, though, ladies and gentlemen, if you do take a look in front of us, you see these hotel buildings right there in front. If you look at the tall one on the left side, that reddish-colored hotel building there, it is known as the Marriott. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that Marriott River Center Hotel opened up in 1988. Now, before that hotel opened up, there used to be another hotel that sat in that same spot. It was known as the Fairmont. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Fairmont Hotel is actually so historical that Marriott couldn't knock it down or destroy it. So what did they do? They actually ended up picking up that old Fairmont Hotel. They put it on top of tires, and they moved it 6 blocks away from their location.
We're more happy than them.
They actually breaking the record for the largest hotel moved on pneumatic tires. If you want to see how they did it, ladies and gentlemen, if you go on YouTube and you search at the moving of the Fairmont, you can actually come across a pretty cool documentary that shows you how they did it. Now, if you do want to visit that hotel in person, all you got to do is go over on Lagos Street on the other side of the Hilton Palacio del Rio. Now, up ahead in front of us, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be taking a left turn. Now, before we do take the left turn at this bridge right here, I want you to take a look on the right-hand side of the river. If you look above the trees on the right, you're going to be seeing a tower on the right there known as the Tower of America. Now, ladies and gentlemen, at one point, that tower on the right was the largest tower in America. Yeah, it was until the stratosphere in Vegas took its place. Ladies and gentlemen, that tower there on the right, it is an observation tower. It served to be the main theme structure for the World's Fair. It is 750 feet tall. It is 952 steps from the bottom to the top. And at the top there, not only is it just an observation tower, there's actually a restaurant up there as well. Yeah, you're able to go up there and have dinner. And while you eat your dinner, the top of that tower there makes a 360 revolution every hour. So you actually get to look at the entire city of San Antonio while you enjoy your meal. What's going on there, guys?
Say hi. Válgame.
Up ahead in front of us, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be entering a very popular part of the river. It is known as River Center Mall. Ladies and gentlemen, River Center Mall, it is 1 out of 10 malls in the city of San Antonio. It is the only mall in San Antonio with a river flowing through it. Thank you, Vegas. Now, right here in front of us, ladies and gentlemen, River Center Mall opened up in 1988. It houses over 100 retail shops. Has a food court in there along with 4 restaurants riverside. They got an IMAX theater in there showing movies all year round. Now, one movie in particular they're showing all year round is actually known as The Alamo, Price of Freedom. Very cool historical movie to check out if you ever get the chance to. Not only that, they also got a Legoland and an aquarium at their mall. Now, you can visit it yourself. You can take the kids. You can take the grandkids. Choice is up to you. It's actually a pretty cool place to hang out at and spend some time together. Now, I will say, the ladies and gentlemen, if you're ever looking for a destination spot during the holidays, I suggest here in San Antonio. LA gentlemen, the day after Thanksgiving, they decorate this entire river here, fully with Christmas lights. It looks very beautiful on the center island here. They put up a large tree. You can come down, take pictures. Even Santa Claus and the Grinch will come down to make an appearance as well. It's pretty cool. I've met a few times myself.
Love
Now,
it.
another thing that is pretty cool, ladies and gentlemen, is these boats. In 2017, the Go Rio company took over, and we got issued here fully electric boats. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, these boats right here, they come with 5 different designs to mean something to San Antonio. For example, the boat that we're on right now, this here's the Dove boat. It is to represent the peace that is here in the city of San Antonio. We have a sun boat to represent the 300 days of sunshine that San Antonio gets. We got the mission boat to represent the 5 missions. We even have a tricentennial boat to represent San Antonio's 300th anniversary. Took place in 2018. Now, last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, we also have a salute to military boat in honor of San Antonio's large military presence. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, San Antonio is known as Military City, USA. So right now, I'd like to take this time to say anybody on board here, military, active duty, retired, first responders, teachers as well. So I'd like to take this time to say thank you, and I greatly appreciate you for your
No,
service.
papá.
2 días a la de esa. Nos corrió. ¿Qué?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, once we get to this bridge right here, I want you to take a look up in front of us. You can be seeing a statue of a beautiful woman that's sitting down in a few seconds. She's actually the newest addition to the river. There's a statue right there in front of us. She is known as the Stargazer. And she is actually made completely out of organic rock. Now, the only part of that statue right there that is not organic rock is the star that is in the right hand. And the star right here is made out of marble. It is to represent the search for love, lightness, and hope. But it could honestly mean anything significant and endearing to you that you are searching for, the Stargazer. Now, in a few seconds, ladies and gentlemen, once we pass through the bridge here on the right-hand side, you're actually going to be seeing another statue. Now, the next statue you're going to see is actually how San Antonio got its name. And ladies and gentlemen, once we take the right turn here, if you take a look on the right-hand side, you're going to be seeing a statue of Saint Anthony of Padua. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Saint Anthony was around during the 12th century, was owned from Portugal. So in 1968, when San Antonio had the World's Fair, Portugal came down to visit us, and they gave us a statue of Saint Anthony. Not too bad of a gift, I would say. It's pretty cool. Now, in a few seconds, ladies and gentlemen, the next one we're going to be talking about is a little hard to see. If you look behind the trees back there, there's actually a church behind the trees over there. It is known as the St. Joseph's Catholic Church. Now, ladies and gentlemen, back in the 1800s, San Antonio had a large German community that was living in this community, in this area. And they wanted a way to worship God in their native German language. So they opened up that their church in 1868. And they would have services completely in German. And they would even bring in an all-German choir to sing their hymns there in German. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you do want to visit them on those days where they have services in German, all you have to do is just walk in there, speak to the Father, and he gets you started on those days. Ladies and gentlemen, before we talk about the last part of the tour, anybody remember playing with Legos as a little kid and playing with the little Lego blocks? The reason I bring that up, if you take a look in front of the boat, you see that hotel right there above the trees there? That there's the Hilton Palacio del Rio, or the Palace on the River. Now, ladies and gentlemen, back in 1968, San Antonio was having the World's Fair. San Antonio was expecting a lot of people to come down to visit us in the city. So San Antonio was like, hey, we need a modern hotel. Is there anybody that can build that hotel there? Now, San Antonio, they found a company. They gave them 5 years. For the first 4 years, the company didn't do anything. So San Antonio was upset because they were still expecting a lot of people to come down and visit us. So San Antonio said, hey, is there anybody that can build a hotel there in less than a year? Less than a year to build a hotel. Now, that's pretty crazy there. Now, there was one crazy guy known as H.B. Zachary. Him and his company, they said to San Antonio that if they didn't build that hotel there in 9.5 months, they were going to sell the entire building to the city for $1. Ladies and gentlemen, they did not finish it in 9.5 months. However, though, they didn't have to sell it for $1 because they completed that hotel there in 202 working days, about 7.5 months. The way they did it, each room above the 4th floor was pre-built and pre-furnished 8 miles away from San Antonio. They brought them over on flatbed trucks, and they used the crane to stack up each one of the rooms on top of each other, like Legos, one by one by one. That took them 7.5 months, 202 working days. That's pretty cool right there. That's what you call modular construction. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be taking a left turn here. This is where the tour is going to be coming to an end. like to take this time to say thank you. I greatly appreciate y'all for joining me here to learn some history on the Riverwalk. I'd like to ask you y'all to please remain seated just a little bit longer. Now, once I tie the boat down, I'll let you know that you can stand up and exit the boat. Secondly, please look around for any personal valuables. Be sure not to leave anything behind. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you do happen to leave something behind, I find it, I'm going to place it in the ticket booth for y'all to come back for later.